Alright, so, in today's video, we're going to be watching a Silver 1 Lifeweaver. Now, I'm watching this game purely because of the description. This is the best way to explain it is, I'm just going to read the description, and you'll see why we're watching this game. I don't know if this is good. Wait. Okay, here we go. Okay, description. This is not a simple game. This is a legend. A legend about 10 brave warriors who fought with teeth and nails. Here's the Ballad of the Indomitable 10 in Circuit Royale. I am Lifeweaver, and I was there. It all started with simple orders of defending the payload, but nothing more far from the truth. What was about to happen was some god's desire for blood. They push and we push. Neither our team and theirs give a chance to the other. But that wasn't an impediment for the Indomitable 10. A couple of lives were traded. Finally, they got the 3 checkpoints. It didn't look well for my Indomitable 5, but we didn't surrender. And neither do they. Do you know how it feels when you're doubting on changing the hero because your mind tells you that you are the problem? Well, the demon called doubt was hunting me, but I said to myself, Strong Chi-Chi 69, you're the Lifeweaver. Not even a Sombra can stop you. If there's someone you can trust, the damage dealt to them are these people, these brave warriors trusting you. You must trust them. And so I did. I trusted them as I keep them alive because I am Console Silver Boger. I never give up. And what happens from there was something no one could see coming. The snipers were placed. Everyone was struggling with each other's sniper. I decided to DPS a little so we could have a breath. But then we started having other problems. Problems of grouping up and stagger. But we were indomitable. We didn't care about insignificant things like 2v5. We planted our feet in the payload and contested as hard as we could. And finally, get to overtime rounds. Once we recognized each other as the Indomitable 10, we just did our task for honor, and glory. The event that closed this curtain, the curtain of this legend, is something that you must discover. This was ours. I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. This could be the worst game we ever watch, but this right here is a way to have a replay watched. Yep, I honestly, I have no idea what's gonna happen. Yep. So, so far, this is some Lifeweaver gameplay. Yep. Yep. Now, who's gonna win? It's the question. Oh, the pink system's being used. Something for the state. Yep. I do see a lot in the Silver Bronze games. Actually, I think in a lot of ranks. Hold right there at the corner. When I play in this map, I usually go Sigma and I'll start to back up. I have no problem giving them like this whole like road here up until under the bridge, and then you have a lot of value on there. That's how it's played a lot in top 500 too. It's so hard to hold close. Well, you can hold close if you play the doors. That is the spawn doors themselves. This is on console, yes. Like I said, we had to watch this game just because of that story. Also, your Reinhardt's in their spawn. Big slam. You gonna pull your Rein? I think so. Nice pull. Yeah, I like that. So far, you're playing Lifeweaver, right? I think that's a good way to explain it. You're playing Lifeweaver. Time for a tree? Yup. Also, Lifeweaver Ultimate is so strong now with the Overshield. Like, it is so strong. Pull your Rein. There goes that Sigma Ultimate. Someone's still going to be in it, but... Makia, thanks for the Future Prize. Thank you, appreciate it. You don't have pull? Nice. So far, good Lifeweaver gameplay, by the way. Like, you've been playing pretty much exactly how you want to play it. You're using your abilities. See, I'm already impressed that you're using your pedal. Whenever I play Lifeweaver, I forget the pedal exists half the time. Except when I do use it, it ends up getting this, like, I'll drop it on the ground to go up into the air, and then somehow it doesn't go up in the air. It, like, gets caught on something, and I don't go up in the air. So, already a good start. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's actually been good Lifeweaver gameplay. I will say that. I keep saying, I mean, I had Lifeweaver pretty high up on the tier list we just recorded. Like, Lifeweaver is a good hero right now. Now, if you're looking to do, like, a bunch of damage output, then Lifeweaver won't be that hero. Like, for example, like with the Yari, you can do a lot of damage, right? Lifeweaver, not so much, but Lifeweaver's a lot of healing. The utility is a lot better than it was and how it works. Tree's really good. You get your ult fairly fast. You can keep your teammates alive. Downside is that once if you fall behind heals and like the only one healing, then you get into an issue a little bit, but overall the hero is a lot better. Also, your Ryan is dead because your Ryan just stayed there in the corner. Oh, big slam! That wall didn't, actually, it wasn't even a wall, that was just the ground. I mean, Lifeweaver damage, okay. And maybe I don't play enough Lifeweaver to like really comment on this, but like, I feel like Lifeweaver's damage is really dictated on how your teammates are doing in the game itself, right? So like if your teammates, also you should tree there. I was just gonna say, I think if you tree there in the middle of the point, you're fine, but you get kind of lost. You try to tree that next time, like middle of point. I feel like Lifeweaver is based off of how your teammates are doing. If your teammates are constantly just taking damage or like not getting anything done, then your damage output's a lot less likely to happen because you like if you just fall behind on heals too much. So if your teammates are like in good position, not taking a lot of poke damage, then you'll probably have higher damage on Lifeweaver. I also think a lot of the time you can do damage now during tree. I think tree has become so good that there is a time in during your tree ultimate to get damage output out. But once again, it's based off your teammate. If your teammate decides to run out of like the tree like radius, then at that point you can't do any damage. That's just Lifeweaver. But the hero is a lot better than like Lifeweaver is good now. Straight up. Nice pull, good save.
Life protects life.
Not bad so far. I still think you've been playing this really well. Tommy, thanks for the feature friends. Thank you, appreciate it. Outside of that one tree you didn't use. A lot of time you get damage on your tree, yeah. I mean, like, it's, you said like, oh, then that's what it is. It must be your bad teammates. It's not even that. It's like, you could have, for example, you could have a really, really good Ramattra on your team, like really good, right? Who constantly pushes their team, is also always at 50% HP, but is constantly getting you limbs. Your teammate's not bad at that point. You just can't do damage. And it has nothing to do with your teammates being bad. You know what I'm saying? Just your teammates taking damage. Also, big slam. If you go into a game as Lifeweaver and understand that you may not be able to do much damage during the game, but you can do a really good amount of healing output and have like really good trees and like make these fun plays, I think you'll enjoy Lifeweaver. I think now with like a Yari, if you like to do some damage and like not have to worry about your heals as much because you can kind of put your healing pile back, then a Yari's good, right? Zen, Bap, like etc. Like those are heroes that you can do a lot of damage. I mean, even Ana you can do a lot of damage with, right? So it's all dependent on playstyle. I don't mind Lifeweaver's playstyle. I also just like enjoy playing most of the supports when I do play support. And now that we're like, obviously right now we're what, GM1 on support. I mean, if I had 50 wins to be top 500, but like, I've enjoyed playing, like, for example, like the supports I've been playing a good amount of is like Ana and Brig. Why do I like playing Brig? Because you can make your other support unkillable. Lifeweaver is really fun because you can use your utility to save your teammates. Now, I have a feeling that in all of your Lifeweaver games, some of your Lifeweavers may not be using the ability to save your teammates, or you'll hit a really big shatter and they see that you went to 85% HP and they'll pull you back just to make sure you're fine, even though you could have had a follow-up shatter of 4 limbs. But you know what? It's a little bit different. Yeah, there's a lot of, you can pretty much, I mean, even when we did our tier list, I think during our tier list, and once again, back to the Lifeweaver gameplay, it's been good. You're doing pretty much exactly what you want to do. I will say there's a couple times where your movement's gotten you hecked up a little bit, and sometimes you'll do your pedal and you'll put it in a spot where when you try to lift your teammate up, they get stuck because you're kind of like up against the wall, so be wary of where you put your pedal sometimes. But so far, so good. Your teammate's been playing well. Like I said, I love the description of this game. Support's really good right now. Support's been getting good since the beginning of, like, Season 1. Oh, big slam! Because at the beginning of Overwatch 2, the big issue was that, and right there, like, your team played really well. The other team just always got, like, the last team fight in overtime. So I'm very curious to see who ends up winning this game. You said Zen has had no real changes? I mean, Zen has Kick, which was added during the beta. Zen also has Discord Orb and the ability just to, like, absolutely do a bunch of damage. I wouldn't doubt it if they make adjustments to Zen, but, like, I think that would be taking away power from the Discord Orb and putting it elsewhere, which I don't even know if that'll be a thing, but yeah. All right, here we go. Roadhog is... You know, it's funny because you went for good position in there, and then at the same time, you didn't heal your Orisa once and they fell over. Welcome to Lifeweaver. Watching this. Oh, there's the Life Weaver damage. I mean, I think that's probably the first time he did damage this game. I've seen him do it a couple times. So, just to add like a little bit of like a thing here, and I'm just gonna, this is for people who are having Life Weavers in their game and they get so confused as to why they get pulled. Just so you know, Life Weaver pull also has a heal. So sometimes it's Life Weavers will pull you purely to heal you, straight up. They're like, okay, we're not gonna pull you out of like a major team fight. We're gonna pull you just to get a burst heal because we haven't had to use the pull. So if you get pulled randomly sometimes, like especially at close range, that's generally why a Life Weaver is doing that, just to get that heal off. Like I think it's like 50 healing or something like that. I forgot the exact number, but it heals now. When it first started, it didn't heal. Okay, it did not heal. As they've buffed Life Weaver like 20 times, a heal on pull is now a thing. So sometimes a Life Weaver will pull you to heal you, and at the same time you become invulnerable for a second, right? So what they're doing is they're going, okay, I don't think I can burst heal you in time. I'm going to pull you to make you invulnerable to damage for like a slight second, and I'm also going to heal you at the same time with doing that, and then they can heal you and keep you alive. Because they're going to have that vision, right? They're going to have that vision of that. Doesn't mean that every Life Weaver pull is perfect, and I imagine in a lot of people's games, a lot of Life Weaver pulls are not going to be good, but keep in mind that when you do get pulled, especially kind of at that close range, maybe a little bit medium range, it's because they want to get that burst heal on you more than just to pull you for fun. Continue on with this game. Who's going to win it? This is the part where they said there was like snipers and they had to like come up with a strategy and all that, so. It's time. Watching the amazing... Like I said, the Life Weaver has been playing fairly optimally, which has made this, like, when it comes to this type of VOD, it's a different type of, like, spectating VOD, but I want to see who wins this game. I would use Life Weaver tree fairly aggressively here, by the way. I think you have an opportunity to really just go in with the tree, and, oh, actually, wait now. Don't tree. This would be really good if you can survive this team fight without anybody dying on your team, and then lead in with tree. Okay, now lead in with tree. Now, go. Lead in with tree. Go. Block him off. Block off with a tree. No, block. Oh, you know what? And maybe it's just like how like sometimes we'll like to play like aggro. I would actually put your tree a little bit in front of them to cut them off a little bit and add more LOS on the Widow. In my opinion. I still like the usage of the tree. I think it would have been a little bit better if it was more aggressive up there. Just a little bit of a slight thing on that. So. Well, that's what I like using tree as almost like a line of sight pillar for the other team that also allows you to play aggressive. Granted, like for example, if they window, do not tree, because more than likely they'll be able to like just get rid of your tree in half a second and you lose that value, right? But I really like the idea of kind of like putting the tree in a spot that allows you to play aggressively. Kind of like a Maywall, kind of, yeah, but you can use it for heals and they can still get around it a little bit easier, right? Ito, thanks for the tier 1. Thanks, appreciate it. Kind of, yeah. It also gives you the overshield, so like you want to play aggressive, right? Like when you use Brig Ult, for example, you'll use Brig Ult to be like to play passive, but you can also use it to play aggressive, right? Like it's very similar to how you would want to use like Brig Ult, because honestly, like tree, the way it plays can be very similar to Brig Ult a little bit, outside of like the overshield that is, right? About constantly will give you like up to what 100 overshield when the tree's on. So like, I think it's a really good ability to get aggressive, and also your team's playing well here. All right, I would still like to see an aggressive tree here to like block off LOS. If I'm correct, I think you can also tree high ground here at an angle and it'll still work. But like, just put it kind of like behind the Orisa. Like behind the Orisa. See where the Orisa's at? Just put it like over there. I mean, okay, I don't mind the card ult, but I feel like it's still a little bit too late, and the same thing happens. Your team gets stuck kind of being static. So do you see how your team can't really do anything with that? If you separate their team, they then have to react. They don't necessarily have to react to the tree being there. They just have to go, oh, there's a tree there. You know what I mean? more than like, oh, like my teammate's out of LOS now. I have to reposition. I have to like use a movement ability to get down to save my teammate, which then puts them out of position. You get in the limb. Like you can see it like if you're in Spectate and you get set to a team. Nice job there. I like the idea, by the way. It didn't work the way because obviously like the range of it, but I like the idea. You can Lifeweaver pedal Orisa's ultimate. It's really good. Actually, in top 500 right now, I have to play Orisa a little bit more. And when I play Orisa a little bit more, that's been happening a lot because I'm playing against a lot of Lifeweavers. And chat's seen, I've been playing against some really good Lifeweavers. Like, a good Lifeweaver right now can be tough to play against because they will make it so if you want on the limb, good luck. If the other team even has remotely decent position. I don't think you need perfect crosshair placement for Lifeweaver. Like you don't. Like the heal on Lifeweaver is not designed to be like perfect on that one. It has like a bit of a range to it. You can kind of like angle a little bit. Like it's not. You don't have to be like super accurate with it. I would say tree that, but at the same time you were in that issue where like you might tree, but they still might get you. So I understand waiting on that ultimate and going back with another team fight. That's like one of those plays where like it could have worked, it also could have not have worked. I think you probably needed to be in a little bit better position for that to even work. That's just being wary of what the other team has. And when a Reaper goes to your backline and runs at you and hasn't ulted in a while, they're probably gonna do that. Oh, that seemed fun. I say you commit to this fight. Pull your Uh-oh, it's those last team fights. I would say, play to pull your Orisa there, rather than kind of, like, play around the corner. I think, like, my guess is you're probably going to have another team fight here, but I think it's safer to pull your, Orisa, because look at your ult now. It just feels like you're now in a team fight. Lift him up. Lift him up. Lift him up. Oh.
Life protects life.
See, it's interesting now because for a while, we saw you playing very optimally, and then the last team fight here, and I don't know if it's because of the last team fight, it's like getting really close. You started to stop using the abilities the way you wanted to, and then like you started to get out of position more, and you're kind of like going all over the place now. So it's interesting to see how like at the end of this game, your playstyle has shifted just a little bit. And I don't know if it's because it's in overtime and it's getting to that point, but definitely kind of play how you were before, because I think that was fine. Like, this is really close, by the way. Good job staying alive during this. Holy crap. Great heals by your Mercy there, too. I think you might win this. I love that Mercy managed to actually get that res off. I want you to see something here, by the way, and I just want to... I want you to, this is something I've talked about in overtime fights. I want you to understand what you're doing here and what the problem is with what your position has become. Get back to where your team is, because in these overtime fights, it becomes really easy to lose track of like spawns anyway. What happens if like this Ayari comes out here and two-shots you? Well, actually, technically can't two-shot you. Have to three-shot you because you're HP. Or this Ayari comes out here with the Reaper, or like, not the Reaper, the Genji, and you get two-shot because you're not paying attention to where they're at. This positioning, while it's fine right here, like on paper, you want to get in the habit of going back here a little bit. No. Listen, you said you wouldn't trust your tank out of C9 to get off the point. That's fine. But do you need to be on their side of spawn to do that? That's my question, right? Even if, I know they have an Orisa, an Orisa that can boop you back, but like, you can also go on the other side over here, right? And you won't go there. My point is look where you're at, right? And how they can come back from spawn. If this fight lasts an extra couple seconds, you are going to fall over. Even, you were playing perfectly fine with your positioning throughout most of the game, but as it hit overtime and you got into this like, this like really intense last team fight, you've now strayed away from your good positioning, and I don't think you'll get necessarily punished for it here, but like, it's good to get in the habit of that. And now you've kind of fallen back here, right? But just be careful of that. And keep in mind, when it comes to that, I do that in overtime sometimes too. And that's also why I'm bringing it up, because I've had times where I will do that, and the next thing I know, I get rolled. It's a 4v3. They get a Kiriko that comes to point, hits a Suzu, and the next thing we know, we lose the round, right? So, lift him up, lift him up. Nice job. I like the reaction to that. It could have been a tad bit late, but I like the reaction. Use your tree right away, please. Right away. Just use it. Thank you. I'm not even going to worry about where your tree placement was there. I just like that you used it right away rather than waiting for the perfect moment. Good job. See, those lifts can be scary because the next thing you know, you lift your teammate up off the point of an accident. This is a long overtime. Every time I see that pedal, I just think that's gonna be like just the OT. That's it. Good job. You said that fight lasted forever, but like that's my point about the positioning. You see what I'm saying about the position in there, by the way? Like, that's the point I'm trying to make. You see how long that team fight went for? What is the one thing that team is going to need? A pick. So if you're out of position and you give that team a pick, that is how you lose in these ridiculous overtime team fights. Because one of you goes out of position, and then once the defense starts to get numbers back, you lose those because then they just spam their ultimates. They're more likely to use a cooldown they wouldn't use before and randomly save somebody. Like, that's why I reference your positioning. You said the support, you're usually the card pusher. Chad has watched enough of, like, so basically we're what? We're essentially top 500 on all 3 roles right now, right? Chad has watched me play all those roles, like the past 2 weeks. I push the cart no matter what role I'm on. If I'm on tank, nobody's on the cart. If I'm on support, nobody's on the cart. If I'm on DPS, nobody's on the cart. I'm always pushing cart. Also, tough start for your team there. Good reaction by the other team. I think that was a good play by the other team to come out with a comp you didn't expect. So... Do. Good movement out. Okay, one thing you could have done there, and like, you didn't have to, but you could have actually healed your Sojourn as you were making that play, which would have kept the Sojourn alive for a little bit longer and could have actually kept them alive because the team wasn't going to overextend. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Be careful of that. I like you saving your Reaper, but like, you almost could have got rolled there. Good job using position in here, by the way. Also, if you get randomly headshot underneath the thing, that's just unlucky. Tree? Tree! Nice! Good tree! Oh, that might be the... Let's go! Oh, you hold this! Let's go! Your team now has a couple minutes here. Well, you have 1 minute to win on this attack. Let's see what happens. Good start. It's always good when the Reaper runs into your team and spawn. Really good start. Good heals. Okay, your team won the team fight. The other team will have an opportunity to retake, though. So you're officially into overtime spawns now, and the other team can retake. Like, your team has a huge ult advantage coming up. Wait, they gave up Orisa ultimate. They didn't even need to do that. Oh, no. Wait, the other team, I think, might have made this easier on you. I know Ball has survivability, but that Orisa is so good right now. And use your tree when you get it, by the way. Huge! Oh, the Life Weaver pedal was so good, but it destroyed the pedal. Oh, you win this. That's a dub. That's a dub. 100%. Your team wins this game. Right? Okay, yeah, you're good. Woo! I'm gonna be honest with you. Wait, no, the ball's back on point! Okay, that's a dub. Why is this Junkrat still alive? Oh, okay. I was expecting, like, Life Weaver tree comes in right there. So, just to talk about that very quickly, I think, like, that was a great game. Ton of fun. That was a fun, like, spectating video, in my opinion, because we just talked about a lot of different stuff while watching this, like, this game with, like, a really cool description. So that was fun. I enjoyed that one. Good job playing there. I will say, get a little bit, like, when you get into, like, those overtime fights, continue to play the way you are. I also, if you're worried about climbing out of silver, I think you're gonna climb. I think you're doing just fine. Just be wary of, like, when you get into, like, those really, really, like, last team fights, play the way you were before. because I think you were playing fine, but then when it got to overtime, you started to like go out of position, and you're like, oh, I got a DPS. Like, you were playing fine. I think you played a good Life Weaver. That was fun to watch. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Sub to all the YouTubes if you haven't, all 3 of them. Ton of awesome videos. We record all these live on stream. So follow the stream, follow everything. Come by the stream. We have a ton of fun here. If you want to submit your own spectating, if you look in the description below, my Discord's right there. There's a spectating channel. And with that being said, hope you all have an amazing day/night.